What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Koimonogatari. Tonight we're on episode 6. So, what happened on last episode, episode 5? A great, phenomenal question. Let me click already. Boom, get the comments on the screen. You already know how it goes. Okay, so the very mini recap. We basically had Hanakawa Kaiki, Kaiki Ononoki. Well, no, I think it was. There was the Senju Gahara one in the middle, right? So it was Hanakawa Kaiki, Senjo Kaiki over the phone, Ononoki Kaiki, Sengoku Kaiki. That was our list. The most important of them, well, I mean, they were all important in their own ways, but the most crazy of them, in my opinion, was definitely the Ononoki one, and then transitioning into the Sengoku one. Because the Sengoku one was, like, crazy in that things are about to go horribly wrong, because she is aware that Kaiki's deceiving her. Like, she straight up was like, oh, you're deceiving me, that's not good. Whereas the Ononoki conversation really, like, deconstructed Kaiki, in front of us, which, I mean, obviously was very crazy to watch. And one of my favorite things about watching that is it's not like a, oh my goodness, like, I finally understand Kaiki. It's a, oh my goodness, Kaiki's being forced to understand himself, right? Because we already knew all those things going into that, you know, or at least knew, right? But we were, like, already talking about a lot of that before we even watched it. So to watch it, it's not even that the information's new, but that this is now an opportunity to deal with that information no longer being hidden. Like, we're forced to, or not even we, but Kaiki is forced to reconcile that information, right? Which is just really insane to watch, right? Which is super fun. But yeah, so let's talk comments. And then there's some cool stuff I wanted to scroll through, just a little bit to scroll through. I don't know how long we'll be doing this. I am really ready to get into the episode. Not even gonna pretend. But yeah, so let's look through some of this. I didn't look through the replies, so I'm not going to open any of the replies. And by me, always shout out the mods that go in and sweep through this stuff, and then even the not mods that that check and then let the mods know which comments are problematic, that kind of stuff. I really do appreciate. We got a little squad that helps out with that. But yeah, let's go into that. That's based in Discord, by the way, if you're trying to figure that out or like trying to think about it. Okay, the Monogatari. So, thank you, my good Andrea. Okay, real quick. I'm sorry, mini tangent. What did YouTube do to the usernames? This was a while ago, but like all the usernames with the new format, like I'm pretty sure the actual username wasn't like just this one big like clump, and it's for all of them. Like I'm not trying to like call anyone out, but like I'm pretty sure they used to be a lot easier to read, you know, just like straight up normal usernames. But then at one point everything just shifted, and now it's like using it's like I don't know. It's so much harder to read usernames nowadays. But okay, let's talk Monogatari. I'm glad that people appreciate the very long episode lengths. And half the time it does feel like I'm just kind of rambling, but it's a very fun show to ramble on, and there's a lot to ramble about. So like, I don't know. I'm just glad that there are people out there that can appreciate it, because you know, sometimes I feel like I'm going a little insane sitting in my little chair for 2 hours, right? My little chair. But anyhow, so I do appreciate that. This I really liked. This right here. So the comment reads, the Gaon is worried Kaiki might do something unfitting for him, always reminded me of the darkness and rules. I really like that. That's a really fun connection. Because like the darkness and rules was the whole like an oddity is not supposed to act how an oddity acts. Or like an oddity is supposed to act in its function, and so if it doesn't act in its function, then the darkness comes and gets rid of it. Or at least like starts destroying it. And there was that fun idea that good old Sarish Heart kind of brought up that we've been cooking with a little bit, about the whole like darkness being a, you know, Araragi first kiss shot, taking away the things that she didn't think she deserved, and then for Araragi to be doing that, blah blah blah. Oh shoot, I just remembered something. Remind me, and I know you don't have the power, but remind me to talk about Ogi in a minute. Okay, hopefully we'll circle back. But yeah, so to compare that same thing to Gaon thinking of Kaiki in that way is really fascinating. I'm going to withhold a lot of commenting on that because I want to actually look at what Ononoki was saying, but that's good to keep in mind, and I really, really like that. It is crazy how much we can talk about Araragi even when he's not in the story. And I think I've said this before, but it's like, it's so insane that having Araragi away from the story tells us so much about Araragi, because it gives us like direct contrast to when he is in the story, or like when he's telling the story even specifically. Because, you know, a really easy example is just the way Hanakawa views him as like the hero saving her, that whole thing at the end of Tsubasa Tiger. I mean, boom, right there. But just like that just shows how much she thinks he's cool, but we never really see Araragi like parading himself around like that, so that tells us a little bit about his pride, his, self-confidence, blah blah blah. But for him to be completely absent, it's just like, I don't know, just in the way it's presented is such a crazy thing. But yeah, this is very true, especially with Kaiki, because the Kaiki Araragi connection is something that they've really been pushing, and I'm really been eating up. I've been chowing. This is something that I actually maybe want to check out. So you can find the story about Numachi Kaiki meeting in the short story Roka. That's I'm pretty sure that's. Oh wait, where's my notes? My notes. Get my notes out. My papers. That's her last name, right? Yeah, Numachi, or first name. I don't know. I always forget how it goes. But Numachi Kaiki meeting in the short story Ruka God. If these are worth reading, I'm down to read them. I'm not gonna Google it myself because I'm terrified of Googling things because it's really easy to get spoiled. Like if I just type the word Monogatari and then it autocorrects to Monogatari ending Senjugahara's dead, right? Like it's already over. Like that would be horrible. So if these are any of them like super worth reading, like I'm totally down. I would just ideally somebody would give me a good source, good translation. And so I don't have to go get digging and then I get spoiled. That's just where that kind of is. Specifically the Numachi one I'm very interested in, and then just anything with Hachikuji would be great. And of course the most plot relevant stories, Karen brushing and Tsukihi brushing. I think we don't need those. I think I don't need to read those. I mean, I can, but I don't know if I need to read those. They literally confirmed that Kaiki's being commissioned to draw the previews is absolutely hilarious. Especially the commissioned part, considering the money. Kaiki money, Kaiki commissioned. Yeah, I know, that's just funny. Oh man, Ruka God. Why is it called Ruka God? God is just God on it already is interesting. Because it's God. We're talking about making Kishot into God. We're talking about making Sengoku into God. I'm not saying that we're gonna make Numachi into God, but why is it called God? Usually that's a big clue into what the arc is. Maybe there's a God complex thing of I'm above everything that Numachi's feeling or something, and I don't know. That's really interesting. But yeah, most of them are not plot relevant, but some are. So yeah, maybe these three specifically would be pogged, I suppose. Or we just say F it we ball, Karen brushing. Continuing. So a lot of this stuff's really interesting, and I'm down to clown. So the Ononoki as the true monster was in Araragi's meta-narrative. And that's something that is easy to forget. And so good to point that out and to keep that locked in. What I find interesting, and you even mention it here, the comment mentions it here, is that I still do feel like Kaiki is not maybe using it meta-narratively in that way, but that's the way that Ononoki's kind of acting, right? Right, or something in here, right? Because he's not, I don't think he's using it that way. I'm fine with agreeing with that, right? Because that conversation, assuming it happened, right? I'm not going to get into the whole, is he lying to us thing, but that conversation happens, we just kind of saw it how it was. But for Ononoki to act to Kaiki in the way that Araragi meta-narratives Ononoki feels really crazy to me, right? Yeah, and I would just maybe, right here, this is what I was looking for. He uses Ononoki of course, Araragi's feelings of lacking agency, being subject to the whims of fate and inability to express himself that he uses Ononoki to represent can also be applied to Kaiki, but that's a matter of the Araragi-Kaiki connection. Agreed, yeah. That's where I think we really should be going with that whole idea as a whole. Make it into the Araragi-Kaiki connection, because that character is, whether meta-narratively or not, being used in a kind of similar way in both of their stories. So yeah, I'm fine with keeping it there. The rest of this I really like as well. Just kind of some of the Araragi, the way his meta-narrative works. I'm totally down with this. It's always, my brain, the whole meta-narrative thing is still such a crazy thing to try to wrap the head around. But I'm totally down with all this. I like the idea of the identity thing. That's been really interesting to me because it's like I haven't really asked like I don't know, maybe I have a few times, but I haven't. I don't know. I feel like there's more to ask in why does Araragi feel the need to make other people or other oddities that he knows into these like or like to prescribe, let's say, prescribe parts of his own being onto other characters, right? In the way that the meta narrative aspect, right? Like, why is he doing that in the first place? And so I like right like all this kind of stuff right here, right? They also exist outside of it. What he considers himself, true. Rather, both of them are roles he feels compelled to play or identify with to wildly varying degrees at different times in the story, and what he considers himself is really not something he could answer. So yeah, I mean, it really is, I feel like, exactly this, where he's taking these parts of himself that he doesn't understand, and, well, I mean, it's unique for each one, but like he's putting it out there into someone else, that he feels that it resonates with to at least some degree, and then the way he acts with that other person is the way that he's trying to parse through his own self parts. And that, of course, the question of why is he doing that in the first place is really easy to just point at. He doesn't have an understanding of those parts of himself, and so in his quest to figure out himself, in his quest to figure out his inner truth or whatever, he's playing with those different parts of himself that he's able to, see in other people, and he's playing with that so he can come to understand it better, right? And I mean, we could list all of the different examples of that. I feel like that's something that's just how it is. But that does, at the end of the day, come down to he doesn't know who he is very well because there's a need to introspect, not even to the level of normal introspection, but to the level of being so lost that you have to prescribe parts of yourself into other people. Like you're understanding yourself in context to the ways that you see yourself in other people because you're so lost in looking inward, right? That you have to look outward to look inward. There's what's the quote? The self is found in other people. Is that the quote? Oh, I'm finding the quote because it feels right. Don't forget to talk about Ogi. The self is found in others. Let me just throw that out into the wide internet. The looking glass self, is that it? Self-concept? Oh, frig. Maybe I just made up that quote. Alright, well, it is what it is. The self is found in others, just run with it. Yeah. So I really like that. His Kizu traumas, interfering with him catalyzing a functional identity is one of those issues. It's funny because I feel like even before the Kizu trauma, he didn't, like, I guess he had, like, I guess maybe an identity formed because he was on that lone wolf path, but it was shaky, it was incomplete, it wasn't necessarily true to who he is, to be someone isolated, to be someone without relationships, to be strongest alone. Like, that's not Araragi. I mean, ask Senjugahara, right? She'll be the first to tell you. So I guess you could say maybe he had like a very loosely constructed identity going into Kizu, but then when he's confronted with Kiss Shot, that completely unravels because he had a weak foundation of self, and then he's left with his own. He's so lost in who he is that he's becomes part oddity, right? His own humanity starts to unravel, and then that's now we're just watching him pick up the pieces, right? Yeah, I like that. I kind of like that. Just because him walking into Kizu, it's just it's so interesting there. Like what happened before, and that's been the thing I've been so like hyper focused on. But yeah, I just like it. I like it a lot. Okay, continuing. Kaiki's not using her in that way in his narrative. He's just talking to her actual character. I think I agree. Unless we're to say that... I feel like the only reason I wouldn't agree with this is if like... Because I know Ononoki exists as a character. And I assume the conversation did happen, but I feel like there's a fun way you could spin it. I'm not going to take this as true or take it as what happened, but you could kind of try to say, in line with his whole beginning of the arc, like, no truth, lies, blah, 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 that his conversation with Ononoki wasn't really with Ononoki as much as it was with himself, but he just used Ononoki as a plot device in his story to us to tell us to like explore that. Because I mean, he's approaching these issues that we see from that Ononoki's telling him about, or like forcing him to deal with. That's all happening right after his talk with Senjugahara, where this little illusion of a relationship that he's been playing with that's just so nostalgic to him, right? With Senjugahara, that completely crashes down because she says like, I'm like, you know, she basically just destroyed him and said, I want to tell you this now because I don't want to tell you it after you like succeed. But I still have all those grudges for you, right? Like Senjugahara very explicitly tore down that kind of nice relationship that they were both playing along with, and especially Kaiki was, I feel like, growing really reliant on because he kept calling her. So for him to immediately afterwards be thinking about all that stuff, like, I know he did it with Ononoki, but it almost feels like Ononoki didn't even need to be there. Like, he was already thinking all those things. Ononoki was just the voice for it. Which is also fitting considering what he said afterwards about the wish stuff, that as soon as you vocalize feelings, then they stray from your feelings. So perhaps Ononoki is the way for him to vocalize in his story his feelings, but also stay true to him not vocalizing his true feelings, because that would, in his mind, destroy his feelings. So I think there could be some like fun narrative ideas there where he's using Ononoki, as opposed to just talking to her actual character. Because that just fits in line with some of the fun Kaiki ideas. But I am also comfortable with just saying Ononoki was the one to expose this all to him. I mean, because Ononoki was talking to him previously, all the Gon stuff about betrayal. Like, Ononoki had reasons to kind of, like, punch him about this. And, like, jab into him with it. But, man, I feel like he would have been jabbing himself anyways, just coming out of that Senjugahara conversation, you know? Kaiki's Araragi's bad ending. I agree with this depiction. Love that depiction. I like the idea of... This line specifically goes really hard. There is no understanding of oneself or others because there is no truth to form an identity around. I mean, bars, right? Where he's just kind of given up on understanding himself. And it's just crazy, too, because, I mean, Ononoki's hitting him with all this, like, this is how you are, this is what you do, and, like, me and Gon are trying to get you, like, to not screw things up. And he answers sarcastically. He's, like, you know, playing around with it, just getting pissed, right? He's not actually trying to introspect. I feel like he's just kind of, I don't know. He's just, like, fighting off and getting defensive with those bad feelings, right? This I found interesting as well. So I was talking about the cram school being a symbol of stagnation. And so it burning down is like a breaking away from that stagnation. But this here's a different idea, that the cram school is not a symbol of stagnation, but more of like a better late than never, like escape from stagnation. So with like, because the cram school is the place you go to when you are withheld, when you are stagnated, when you are, I'm forgetting the word I'm looking for, but when you're stagnated, you go to the cram school to catch back up, right? So the cram school is the place to catch back up, right? However, like, I feel like another way we could spin it, because I like that idea a lot, and I think that's better than saying that the cram school is stagnation. But then let's think of the cram school burning down with the better late than never, with the cram school is a like getting caught back up kind of idea. In that way, the cram school burning down could be a return to stagnation. I like that idea, because the thing that you were getting caught back up on has like been destroyed, so now you're stuck again. Or it could be that you're caught back up and that you don't need to be caught back up anymore. You don't need to cram school anymore because you're back in school. And man, with Araragi constantly been like in all the recent arcs, he's been, or like the entire time really, but he's been like getting caught up with schoolwork and practicing for exams. That's just been such an Araragi thing. It's almost like he is still cramming, he just doesn't have to do it at the cram school. So does that mean that he's like ahead, or not ahead, but like he's caught back up in some ways, and is just still continuing to finish his development? Or is it to say that he is maybe temporarily returned to stagnation because of how bad everything has gotten? I'm willing to say that it's a return to stagnation. I like that idea. But yeah. I think there's fun ways we could spin it, but I like the idea that's listed here. I do like the idea that's listed here. the symbology of locations yet? Oh boy, that means there's symbols. That means they're already decided, man. These were some fun. I went through all of these timestamps. They were very funny. It made me go giggle. He was just born to be alone in the world, and there was a similar story that Hanakawa told Kaiki. Alright, well, I'll explore that later, because right now my brain is just not finding that. The summer dress that Shinjo wears the same at the end of Nisei when on the beach after Tsukihi Phoenix. I wonder... Well, after Tsukihi Phoenix, Kaiki was gone. Kaiki wasn't supposed to be there, right? Because Kaiki was Karen B. And Tsukihi Phoenix was Ononoki squad. So... I mean, if he, in his OP, is showing us the summer dress from the end of Nisei... If he wasn't there during Nisei from what we saw, then maybe he was watching from a distance? Is that a crazy idea? That he was watching that beach scene, but he wasn't actually a part of it because Araragi didn't know he was there? I don't know. The fact he separated Shinjo from her mom also goes nice with Fast Love, with Kaiki saving her being her future being rewritten, forgetting the pain from being separated from the cult. That's facts. This is so true. This entire conversation is crazy. It's basically the Monogatari experience. The serious self-control. You know I gotta have self-control. I can't just watch the next one because I gotta talk to the comments, man. I gotta hear bars be spat, you know? It wouldn't be this series if it didn't have the comments, you know? If it didn't have the comments, you know? Ononoki's asking the questions that are tailored to help getting a good introspective. True. I mean, true. And it's so tailored, but Kaiki's just kind of batting it away, it feels like. And then, yeah, this is exactly what I was trying to say earlier. Kaiki commenting on his actions with sarcasm. Quote, as soon as you put into words, it can't be your real feelings. Oof. Yeah, I mean, facts. And it doesn't feel right, sarcastic or not. Yeah, I mean, the man's losing it. The man's absolutely losing it. That's why I was so scared for him going into this Sengoku thing. Like, we knew a couple episodes ago that she was going to figure it out. We knew that this was going to fail, right? They've said so many times how easy it's supposed to be that it's no wonder it's failed, right? That's just basic how it goes. I would have been even more surprised if it succeeded, you know? The fake theme is super great. I love the fake theme. The save, help yourself, Oshino style. The OST's popping off. This is true. This is very true. That the Monogatari world is like a... Well, yes and no. It is taking place in, like, a real-world setting, right? But, like, obviously, like, I haven't met an oddity in real life. Maybe I'm just lucky to have never peeked behind the curtain, as one might say, as Hachikuji, I think, said that one time. Shout out Hachikuji. But it is definitely not, like, it's kind of a weird middle blur to me. But this I definitely agree with, that the specialist job is to maintain the balance between the oddities and the human world. Agreed. I just really like that line of the lack of balance is what drew Kiss Shot here, you know? Where it feels like part of the balance between oddities in the human world could include a proper what is it called? Pre-requirements or preparations being made in the human world beforehand. It's not like, because like you don't want to, if you're a doctor, right? Or like if you're okay, we're all living in human bodies, right? You got a human body, I'm assuming. I got a human body, I'm pretty sure. So when you don't want to just get sick and then cure your sickness, right? You don't want to only treat injuries. You want to do proactive things like, you know, exercise, eat healthy, get doctor checkups, that kind of stuff. You want to like get ahead of it, right? As opposed to just treating the issues as they come up. You want to do like preventative measures, right? So I think part of what we can include in the specialist job, which I think is what Gon's trying to do by establishing someone as God and has done with Sengoku, is like a proactive measure as part of that, as opposed to just chopping oddities as they show up. Like, okay, let's actually deal with the root cause kind of thing. But that's completely attached to that, right? This, like, I agree with this completely. That's just kind of adding on to that. I really like this point as well, that maybe Kaiki messing up is because he used his traffic accident lie when, like, a traffic accident is not going to kill Araragi. Especially because, and he knows this, he knows this because Senjo said it. Oh, don't burp. he knows that because Araragi's been going up to the shrine and getting destroyed like every day, or all the time by Sengoku. That was like a thing that was said. So Sengoku knows how durable he is, okay? Sengoku's the one that's been almost, bringing him to death's door like all the time. So no shot she's gonna believe him dies in a traffic accident, right? Like that just makes sense. Man, I wonder if you could even read it as like him relying on the traffic accident lie is showing, or is a result of his mindset being so focused and gone on his past traumas, especially coming out of the Ononoki conversation. And so it slips into his current speech of the traffic accident, which then hoes him. And so it's like the traffic accident not only is like not a good lie, but also is a direct result of his mental being stuck in his gone past. So it's like an analogy, right? Yeah, I really like that idea. This I think is so incredibly true. Me watching you react is like a pendulum going from he on to nothing, and he spins some incredibly sick bars. We are not making it out of Monogatari with this one. We are not making it out. No, this is facts. This is facts. And that's the thing, though. I like the pendulum, Because if I just said the right thing all the time, I've already yapped about that. I like the pendulum. I like the pendulum. Let's keep penduluming. I've never been in a taxi. It's true. This was just literally like I posted the video and then this comment like showed up immediately. So that's fun. 48 seconds ago. We love to see it. The closet thing, I'm going to go insane. I'm just going to attach these two together. Heart from, I'm going to even heart it. Bing! These two. The closet. What are you talking about? The thing in our closet is 7.5 inches long, weighs about 1/4 a pound, and is black. You're trolling me, because I don't even want to say what this is. We all are on the same page, are we not? You do not give me the size figure of 7.5 inches, and then in her closet, like, come on. You're trolling. You have to be trolling. Unless you mean like, oh, it's her umbrella. I don't know. An umbrella is not 7.5 inches, unless it's one of those like collapse. How long is 7.5 inches? No, don't answer that. It's just like, what is in the closet? I don't know. Ogi. Let's talk. Ogi's in the closet. Let's talk. And is black. I mean, Ogi got them black eyes, but Ogi does not have black skin. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Ogi's also not 7.5 inches tall. Okay. I don't even know. Well, I'm coming back to that later. We'll circle back. We'll put a pin in it. We'll circle back. Ogi. Ogi Schmogi Wogi Fogi. I had a random idea. When did I get this idea? I low-key think I was in the bathroom. Because never mind. Whoa. But I think I was in the bathroom when I got it. Don't know why I'm telling you that. Important thing, or maybe I was in the car. Doesn't matter. I was thinking randomly like, Ogi. What is up with Ogi? Is Ogi the devil? My idea is, this is a fun idea that I was turning around in my head a little bit. Ogi, what is Ogi? Ogi is a liar, right? With the whole attachment to Oshino thing, right? So lots of deception going on with Ogi's character. It's like a wolf among sheep kind of thing, the false niece, right? So that kind of fits with like kind of a Satan lying, the snake in the Garden of Eden. We're kind of okay, a little bit of something maybe. But specifically, I'm thinking, okay, we've been thinking, why has Gaon, this hair in my face is gonna make me lose it. Why has Gaon been trying to make a god happen, right? First kiss shot, now Sengoku, that's where we're at with the whole god thing. Why? Especially, it was entrusted to Araragi because they wanted to make kiss shot into god, but then Araragi didn't do it, which led to Sengoku going, I think that an answer could be that Ononoki is an oddity, perhaps, that was created as a result of the lack of balance in the city, and as such is going around and causing unbalanced things to explode, right? So, I mean, Kanbaru and Hana Monogatari, right? Sengoku in the first place, right? It's like there's these unbalanced thing, and then Ogi's pushing them into traffic and making things go crazy. So perhaps the Gaon clutch as making someone into God is literally that to make someone into God will disrupt Ogi. And so I'm kind of thinking I don't know, right? Because it's kind of a weird thing where, I mean, frick, timelines, man. Son Goku has been God for a while, right? If and I don't know if Son Goku was God in Hana Monogatari, because Hana Monogatari is in the future, right? So Hana Monogatari, like, we could have the situation where, because Ogi's not been in this arc. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking maybe they're connected. Am I smoking crack? It kind of feels like it the more I'm speaking. You know it's bad if I start looking at the notes this close up. Because it's just a date thing. Because if we look at the dates, how much of a period is there where Ogi overlaps Sengoku as God? Right? I'm low-key gonna, like, look through earlier comment things to find the last... Yeah, let me just real quick look. What I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna even leave this in the video because I'm lazy and I don't like to cut, is I'm gonna find the list of times, right? Or the you know what I'm talking about. The dates of the different episodes, because we've posted one of those somewhat recently, probably at the beginning of Koi here. Shout out the comments for posting that. And specifically, we need to figure out if the Ogi overlaps the God. If Ogi overlaps God, right? If Ogi's been making moves while the God's been moving. Sengoku as God, specifically, right? Here it is. Timeline update. Boom. Right here. Make sure the video is paused. I don't want to hear myself yap. Koimonogatari episode 1, timeline update. This is what we're looking for. Hopefully this doesn't just start playing. Let me close all this. Bet. Okay. Still recording. Everything looks good. Bet. So, Ogi was a problem at the start of Kabuki, right? Is that I think that's the earliest Ogi location, because Ogi was talking about traffic things to Araragi that gave Araragi the Hachikuji ideas that led Araragi to flirt with the idea of Hachikuji being able to grow up, which is part of him coping that Hachikuji isn't going to disappear because he doesn't want to let go of his inner child. But little does he know that for his inner child to grow up, for Hachikuji to grow up, as we saw in this hypothetical timeline, that is like counterintuitive to her very existence as the inner child, because the inner child is a child, it can't grow up, therefore everything unraveled, right? That was all Ogi business. So Ogi, boom here. Right now, we are in Hitagi End. Look at this! Nadeko Medusa, what is Otori here, right? So, are we to say that Ogi spawns in here because everything's been going crazy, exists, starts the Nadeko Medusa issues, despawns to some degree, or at least goes into a recluse, like a hiding area, during Koi, because we haven't seen them anywhere in Koi, and it could just be that they are making moves in silence, but maybe it's that they're actually maybe they're actually in some way inhibited by God Medusa. And then at the end of Koi here, in this episode we're about to watch, Kaiki, or I don't know, maybe Oshino / episode, because I feel like Kaiki's going to be in a really bad spot, and then whoever's tailing him is going to save him. Maybe somehow we end up getting the win and she stops being God during Koi. And then, boom, next arc, Hana Monogatari, Ogi's back. It's just a thought. I like the idea. Because I kind of like the idea that Ogi's just straight up the devil. Poor Ogi's getting hoed. Just like the great deceiver, you know. Crack? Let me take a sip of my water. By the way, we are drinking water. This is absolutely full to the tip, so be very careful. Okay, good. We do love water. I'm going to do a little bit of a scroll here real quick. There is a very specific line that I have up already. So let me get that up for you. Oh, here it is. So this is Kaiki. I was rewatching some of the Kaiki Hanakawa talk. I'll give you context. We'll go back a few seconds, I'll give you context. I just found this line very interesting specifically. So, Hanakawa was telling Kaiki that she was planning on her vagabond way of life right after she graduated. That, of course, is like the guitar, wandering the world, that whole thing. But things aren't going quite as I planned. And then Kaiki thinks to himself, she shouldn't try to imitate what Oshino is doing. Whoa! That's like new generation of balancer type talk, right? That she wants to go. That Kaiki thinks that she wants to go do Oshino balancing type stuff as part of her vagabond thing potentially. And so she's trying to say that Oshino's way of doing it or the way of doing balancing period shouldn't be done. And man, like, because you can wonder why. Is it that he disagrees with the way Oshino does it? I mean, yeah, I would say that is probably a pretty fair thing to say because he's a very lost and stunted soul, my sweet Kaiki. Whereas, and it's not like Oshino can defend himself because he's gone. I don't know where Oshino is. Where is Oshino? Oshino, come back. Save me, and then say that I saved myself. Thank you, Oshino. But is it that that Kaiki doesn't want Hanakawa to go down the Oshino philosophy route, and safe in all that kind of jazz, or is it that that Kaiki has grown to respect Hanakawa, based off of the way Hanakawa's been talking? Because, I mean, he's even admitted a few times to himself, like, dang, she kind of smart, or dang, she got some keen eyes, or whatever. I mean, even right here, was it? No, that's just him speculating. But she's really captured his attention, and she's been unflinching, full of will. That's my Hanakawa right there. So it could be that and like his attempts to infantilize her child, make her childlike, she's completely like sidestepped, right? Because at one point he was thinking perhaps something about her being a child, but then she completely slammed on him basically in the talk, because that's the Hanakawa. Though, so point being though, could it be that he doesn't want her to go and do the balancing thing in a way that's similar to the whole, studying the supernatural or going into the world of the supernatural just increases the amount of things you don't know, and that whole comorbidity idea with oddities that, like, the deeper you go in, like, you kind of get lost in it, or, like, a lot more of it starts to hit you, and that, I mean, like, Araragi's trying to defend Karen and Tsukihi by keeping them not knowing, right? So there's like an ignorance is a bliss kind of type behavior. Is it that Kaiki in some ways trying to hold on to like an ignorance is a bliss for Hanakawa's sake? I don't know. Or it could be a disagreement with Oshino's philosophy and he doesn't want her to go down that route. Also fair. But I mean, both of which I think it's something that's only really coming to mind for him because he's grown to respect her more. Because she's kind of amazing and I kind of love her. And then she starts talking about little Oogie Og. Maybe Ogi is still causing problems because she's asking about Ogi. I mean, she's trying to figure it out. It's not like that he lost a family that used to exist. He was just born to be all alone in this world. Born to be alone. That's kind of cool. Where it's like he was born to be alone. Reminds me of the darkness and its rules. Reminds me of Kaiki and acting like true Kaiki that Gon was talking about. So he was born to be alone and to not have family, and then Ogi comes in and pretends to be family. So that's almost like Ogi's coming in to disrupt what Oshino's supposed to be. Maybe that's an entire thing. I don't know. Kind of a cool idea, I would think. And then she hits us with a shaft special, a shaft neck turn, neck break special, and then Kaiki does it too. Kaiki best girl. Oh yeah, he's talking about what's in the closet. Something so insignificant that won't do any good. Okay, please tell me that freaking Oshino episode, anyone, followed Kaiki to the house, got whatever was in the closet out of the closet, and is going to use it to save the day. Can we just wrap our plot threads, please? Because I need to know what's in this stupid closet. I'm going to lose my mind. Okay? It is not 7.5 inches long. It is not black. It is not... What was the other description? Is it? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. OP. Love to see it. Kaiki. Sengoku talking. Part of his stuff. He goes to a whim. Meets up with Numachi. Shout out Numachi. Love my girl Numachi. Acquainted with Kombaru Saruga. Man, it is kind of fun, specifically to see him talk about an event that we've already seen. I feel like it's just like, because it's literally just me going like, I know what that is, Because so often there's stuff in the show that's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But for that specifically, it's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And oh boy, does that scratch my brain. Itchy brain. This conversation was really interesting. You know, we've already dug into it a lot. I mean, sure, we could keep digging into it. But really, I mean, just Kaiki's kind of spiraling. Spiral, I mean, with all, look at this. This looks like a spiral. He's being sucked into the phone, sucked into the conversation. He's asking this teenage girl about why she loves her boyfriend when there's so many comparisons made between him and his boyfriend. And her boyfriend. He's doubting himself. Quote, why am I saying such mean things to a high school kid? I feel ashamed of myself. He's literally just kind of spiraling mentally before he goes off on this mission. And she completely, right before his mission, completely slam dunks him, and then he goes, sits on a train, and then actually parses through all his issues with Ononoki. And it's just like, I could so, and I said this already a little bit, but like, I could so easily see that he is, like, I feel like it's reasonable that he would be thinking about the things he talked with Ononoki about. He'd be thinking about that coming out of the Senjo talk. Because I feel like that's, like, if anything, that's something to make you introspect, is doubting yourself, feeling ashamed of yourself, especially with his specific relationship with Senjugahara. So, man, could you even say that Ononoki was drawn to him because he was imbalanced in that emotionally, and that's why Ononoki showed up and started saying what he couldn't say? And for kind of, like, pushing that envelope? Yeah. This isn't like you, Kaiki. Kind of want to just rewatch some of this. You do things that aren't you, and you really will be in a bad situation. It's crazy because, like, they're saying that the you of Kaiki is the con man and is the character he puts up, is his persona, as opposed to his true feelings of the matter with Gaen, Gaen Toei, and all of that. So it's funny. They're called, like, Ononoki and Gaen are calling, and Gaen and Izuku are calling his you, are referring to Kaiki by his persona rather by his quote unquote true self. Though, I do like the idea that Kaiki doesn't believe he really has a true self, or at least is in denial of a true self. Maybe denial of a true self. That's interesting. I like that line. Yeah. Okay. But then she starts running back. But it's not like this isn't like you either. He's spiraling. This arc is so good. Also crazy that Ononoki was around at that before Bake. Like, what? This is just that stuff. Which we're good with that and stuff. I want to hear more of this though. He starts coping, rationalizing, Kaiki 101, cutting my profits. He says, so I don't care what you think of it. That sounds like something you would say if you cared what she thought of it. Man, and this, yeah, the OST goes so hard. Actually, I do remember this song playing. It's like climax music. It's all... This was such a climax of the arc. Like I feel like this conversation with Ononoki is almost more of a climax than whatever's going to happen with Sengoku. You know, like the introspection of Kaiki feels so powerful, even in comparison to the whole, oh no, a god's going to destroy everything potentially, or like kill the main characters. You know, like the introspection I feel like is really the core of the story. But we haven't seen episode 6 yet, so we'll see. Man, and then this, Gaen is worried about your well-being, your body and soul. And that his body and soul, by doing this mission, because, that's what she's been trying to get him out of this mission, that's what's at risk. Unfitting for him. The reason why you ruined the Senjugahara family. Oh, the music goes so hard. And he starts biting back, standing up, You know? Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, how many people just believe him when he says this, you know? I was only playing the bad guy, because that's something that we've coped about a little bit here and there of, like, maybe he really is good, right? Maybe this is all an elaborate scheme, but, like, yes and no. I mean, partially it's an elaborate scheme, you know? But he does bad things, too. Sometimes a bad person does good things, sometimes a good person does bad things, you know? But, like, it's so... they're tantalizing. They're baiting people, right? They're baiting me into just being like, oh, this isn't sarcasm. Like, he's actually, you know, maybe he's upset that he's actually a good guy, and that's why he's being sarcastic, but no, he's not just a good or bad guy. He's just Kaiki. I mean, that's where I'm at. But don't tell anyone because it embarrasses me. Oh. I totally didn't understand that. Oh, Kaiki. Life is still long. I'm going to continue doing my best. Wait, can I get context for this line? Let me run that back. Because we're talking about life being long. I don't mean to make it about Araragi again, but like Araragi suicide talk makes me curious, especially with some of the visual stuff with him on the train tracks, which makes me think of suicide. Is this an elaborate Kaiki, or like not elaborate? Is him going to Sengoku and lying when he kind of knows? I think he knows that I think he knew he was gonna fail. I think he really did at the end of it. Like, you know, I mean, if Gon's telling you to pull out, I mean, Gon knows everything, right? And I'm sure he knows how unbalanced he is within himself after the Senjo talk, after the Ononoki talk. But he does it anyways because he's given up and he wishes to be done, right? I feel like that's where we're at. So for him to say the life is so long and I'll continue doing my best, I think that's him being sarcastic still and saying, and he's really saying, I'm done trying my best. I'm ready for life to be much shorter, right? I think this is completely sarcasm. It's funny because he's telling us, he told us at the beginning, lies and truth, you know, like that he was going to lie to us, right? And I feel like while I'm viewing it as sarcasm, like that's maybe what he meant by lies, that him wanting to try his best and trying to like succeed and you know, trying to live a long life, like that's the lie. That would fit really well into some of the other themes. This is so true. You yourself really don't actually know what you're doing. I mean, that's true for me, myself. That's true for a lot of people. Kaiki knows. Is there anyone out there that knows what they're doing in their own mind? Bro, I mean, kind of true. I mean, there are a few people, but I think they're pretty exceptional if they truly do know, and they aren't just, like, coping, you know? This music went so hard. And the heart, bro, what is this? What is this pink sweater with the heart? I think is this a Kaiki memory, low-key? Did Gaon give you a heart one time and that's what you're thinking of? Are you reminiscing, Kaiki? Also, it's crazy. Most of the time, I haven't really liked Ononoki a ton. Like, I've been fine with her. It's not like I've disliked her. But, like, compared to, you know, Hachikuji Shinobu, which is kind of where you can make that trio comparison, like, she was always the weakest link for me by, like, an easy, like, a big enough amount. But, man, this talk with Kaiki was actually very pogged for her character. I feel like this is, like, one of the big Ononoki conversations that I've actually been like, okay, I appreciate this, you know? Oh. Yeah. Oh, and then these lines, bro, don't get me started on this again. This was so good. This is some real introspection. He's walking through that... Man, isn't... Wait. Have we ever seen him move through this location? These red kind of, I don't know, like shrine gates or whatever. I feel like every time we've seen this location, we haven't seen him moving in it. Is that true? Because if so, him moving in it would be him like actually doing successful introspection, perhaps. Whereas previously, him not moving would be like an imagery of him being stuck. and stagnant? Question mark? That's for the rewatchers out there to rewatch every time the red gates have showed up and see in what context, you know. Not a strange disease, but a what? Not a strange disease, but a miracle. She is to... Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's why I think how she is today is a miracle. Strange disease. I mean, is that a different translation of odd disease, oddity, like that kind of deal? But a miracle. In the past 18 without crumbling. The mother crumbled, but the daughter didn't. Man, it shows how much he cares, you know? At least right now, she will not crumble. Because I'm going to deceive Sengoku. Or it could be, like, and maybe every other time we've seen the gates, it's just been him going to Sengoku, and it's just a visual, like a visual representation of him making the 100 journeys, right? Because, I mean, that was a transition into him going to Sengoku's place, and, like, it's fitting for the location. But, man, I feel like the way we've seen it might be I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping. A fun idea, if nothing else, right? I'm so ready for Sengoku to get just done. She's the worst. She's the worst. And then he spits. Man, there was one more thing I wanted to point out here, and then we're going to watch the episode, I think. I think, and I might have said this last time, but, like, let me find it. Words are nothing but lies and nothing but cheats. No matter what the truth, the moment it is told, it becomes dramatized. Words. That wish can never be spoken out loud. Come on, where is it? There's a shot where he loses eye contact with Sengoku, and I think that shot of him losing eye contact is representative of him speaking to himself and of himself rather than deceiving Sengoku. She took the bait. She's smarter than a ladybug. Come on, where's that shot of his eyes? Right? He's doing the Shaft special. He's locked his eyes. Because you kept talking about such a wish. Look, but he loses it. He loses his nerve. He looks away, and you can no longer grant that wish. I think that's where it fell apart. Like, he lost the confidence. Like, and maybe that's a result of him being so off balance from the Senjugahara and the Ononoki talks. Or it could also be like him almost being like he feels defeated in this ideology he holds and how it relates to his own life. Yeah, man. He died in a car wreck. All three of them. It was so unlucky. So there's two paths left, right? It's either we somehow clutch it and Sengoku no longer is God. Because we know things are going to be fine in Hana, right? But, so I think we're going to clutch it and Sengoku's going to not be a problem anymore. Perhaps she won't be. I think she won't be God. Gon's plans will fail, which will cause more issues in the future for future arcs, but will also get rid of the immediate problem of Araragi and Senjugahara getting murdered. However, to do as such, I mean, he's failed at his deception, so I think another character's got to step in to help. Maybe. Is Episode finally going to show up? We've been talking about him this entire time. I don't know. Or it could just be that he fails, somehow gets away, and then she's still an issue, but, like, I'm pretty sure Hana is the last thing of Season 2, and then we have a new season, right? So, and I'm pretty sure Araragi, you know, Shinobu and Senjugahara, I mean, they're gonna be, you know, They're finding Hana. One of them's finding Hana. And you're not gonna just ice the main trio like that. Main trio. But, like, at least you're not gonna just ice Araragi. Like, we have not come full circle on any of his developments, okay? For him to die is his good ending, because he wants to die. So, no, we're not going to let him die. He's not supposed to die. He can't die unless he's solved some of his issues and talked to us about it. Then he can die, because then his character arc is complete. But until then, no, we're not killing him. Alright, I've had enough. Let's watch. Let's watch, man. Let's watch. Okay. Episode 6 of Koimonogatari. Let me take a sip from my water bottle. Get yourself a drink and get yourself a snack. You already know how it goes. I love agua. I love water. Almost as much as I love Dr. Pepper. Okay. Episode 6. Let's get this A going in. Oh, geez, Kaiki. I mean, I know you're going to be like, okay, because you told us, we've seen Hana, plus you literally told us in the story, in last episode. But, like, what, you know, is she just not going to take her anger out on him because he's not Araragi, or, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of really good lines that, you know, that Hanakawa said last episode that got me thinking, you know, with the whole, like, she never really loved anyone thing. But let's just jump into the episode. I'm ready for episode to show up with whatever was in the closet and beat Sengoku over the head with it. Alright, let's get going. In a 3, a 2, a 1. Bang! You little snake. She did. This is so true. And we all... I was telling you, Kaiki! I was telling you, Kaiki! Okay, I gotta focus. She had closed it to Araragi. It was a soul made of shadows? That's what Hanakawa said. Oh no, Kaiki. Oh no, Kaiki. Oh no, Kaiki. Oh no, they're going! Oh dang, what a shot. It's like a waterfall of snakes. Don't dance. What are you doing? So I thought. What? What do you mean, so you thought beautiful? What's beautiful, the snakes or her? Are you calling her beautiful? Just the work of a god? Oh, Kaiki. Now sing to me, Kaiki. Now sing to me, Kaiki. So she's not happy. She wants him dead. And before, like, Shinobu's in his shadow. But Shinobu's not enough. She's a god. And, you know, like that... The only reason I even said that is because there was that shot of his shadow moving last episode. But, like, that's just crack, you know? Oh, well, it'd be another fun comparison where both Araragi and Kaiki got saved by Shinobu in the shadow. But that'd be a bit much. I'm not gonna, you know... I think it's just whoever was tailing him is gonna save him. Or Gon. I mean, Gon could come in clutch, right? Gon knows. Gon knows everything. Except, Hanakawa's trying to worm her way out of that, because Hanakawa's the best. Man, the tier list is going to be hard. This is going to be really hard. I'm, like, finally understanding why people were saying how much they loved Hanakawa and Kaiki. Because, like, previously I was like, I mean, they're fine, I guess, you know? They just get so much more juice in these recent stuff. Okay. Okay. Hitagi End, Part 6. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Can you be quiet? Who do you think you're talking to? Yeah, you lied to Araragi. You've been snubbing everyone. If I'm a liar, you're the bigger one. Good line. You only trust yourself. Damn! Damn, Kaiki! Pink scene. She said she hated me. Senjugahara said that over the phone. Senjugahara over the phone right before she hung up. Nope, you're wrong. You're dumb. It was Senjugahara. I just know. That's right, Kaiki. I know it was on you. Like, the parents put that on you, but people can change, you know? No, people can change, Sengoku. I have to love myself who I hate so much. Oh, dang, wait, this is kind of bars, actually. There's some truth in what she was saying. I really liked some of what she was saying. Your environment. Some woman I knew was different. Whoa. I think he's talking about Gon, right? Right, didn't Komaru... Or she was called a god by her husband, right? Maybe... Man, maybe like him telling the truth will be what solves this the most. Because he's being so honest. It's Ogi's fault. I mean, Ogi, yeah, I mean... Is that a name? That's funny. Ogi diff, Ogi diff. Ogi's a problem. It was Ogi! Yes! Oh, Kaiki. And that's what Hanekawa was on to, bro. So you're trying to... Kaiki-san as well. Oh, good call, good call. The Great Deceiver Ogi? The Great Deceiver Ogi, bro? I can't do anything to resist myself. Good line. Don't call him Koyomi. Don't call him Araragi. Copium. Don't hurt him. She's tripping, dude. She's tripping. Wait, who? What are you killing? Oh my goodness. Can't kill Hachikuji. Can't kill Hachikuji. This is crazy. Yeah. 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 Are you good? What is happening? She just flashed everyone, bro. She just flashed Kaiki. What it... Oh, wait, she's punching him. Oh, that's what was in the room? She wanted to be a manga artist? Is that what was in her closet, bro? You went in the closet. What was it, a pen? What like her manga? What? Rolled and smoked. Money is valuable. Did she mention this? Oh, did Tsukihi talk about this or something? It must have been like Tsukihi or Karen or something said this at one random point. Yeah. It was... Aw, she wanted to be a mangaka. That's ridiculous. Okay. He didn't have to get saved. He saved himself. Good job, Kaiki. Something from the 80s? Just like the OP. Exposed! Exposed! Oh, I saw the receipts. Bro. Yo. I'll kill you and then kill myself. So you finally give me the time of day. Oh, good line. Facts. I was just the first. Go protect your closet. What's wrong with that? Stop slapping Kaiki. Oh no, you're gonna stop being God, and it's gonna be used from the truth, not from deceit. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. It's like how you don't want to speak the words, right? Yes! That's what I'm saying, Kaiki, bro! I was literally referencing that. Oh, that's so good. Oh, this OST, bro. Facts. Oh, it's like a different version of the Kaiki music. It's like a play on the Kaiki theme. That's so good. Aw. Insecurity. Aw. Aw. Maybe you have that thing called talent. Facts. Bro, this music is so good. And it's like they're like... Money can take the place of everything. Whoa, Hachikuji reference. Hachikuji reference. Whoa. Keeps kicking him. Damn. Wow. Kaiki's voice is so good. Hmm. So true. Actually, so true. Exactly. It's what Oshino was saying. You have to save yourself. Senjogohara's house. Calling is he calling Senjogohara a woman? Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. Instead of like a child, right? Like he's actually man, and it means so much coming from him because of his relationship to Gon. I mean, you're the one that decides what that fortune's worth, you know. She didn't kick him. Aww. Aragi! Aragi! I deceived her. He showed up to fight her, bro. Or to talk to her, and then she was gonna kill him. That whole thing. Oh, that's funny. Surely. You forget Aragi showing up. That's so funny. I deceived. It was a slug. A slug tofu. He's just making shit up, bro. Ah, that's funny. He's like lying that he's lying, you know? Oh, yes, she was such a slug. Good thing I good thing I got him. Got her. Oh, that's funny. He did. He did tell her that. Kind of. Yeah. Obvious things that adults tell children. What are you grabbing the talisman? Are you grabbing the talisman? He's grabbing the, yeah, he's grabbing it. Got it. Got it. I believe this is for you, Araragi. Araragi actually listened to him. Instead of just jumping into action. I mean, he's poised to, you know, but... Wow. Damn, dude, look how good Araragi looks. He looks so good. Did he say he wasn't going to use it on anyone? I'll have to play that back. He'll leave, yeah. My job is done. Got quite a bit of money. Yeah, throw some salt on her. Okay. That's so good. Whoa, good line. Whoa. Yeah, he was the one for Sengoku. Well, Araragi, it's the flip. But then Hanakawa. Ooh! I like that line. I like that line. I'll see you again. Oh, are you talking to me now? Are you talking to me now, Kaiki? Oh, you're talking to Senjo. That's what she said again. Whoa, are we not even getting a normal ED? Like I freaking care. Then I deceived you just to my liking. Be careful of bad women. Oh, was she the one that slipped under the door? Is that what you mean by that? But why? Yes, explain it to me, Kaiki. I don't even know. Oh, okay, so it would make you double down? Yeah. Oh, wow, she played him. She played him like a fool. Okay. Good call. Good call, Senjo. Wow, he's destroying the phone. Or this Ogi figure, right? Yeah, then why would she give you the offer? Mm. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's what I'm saying, dog. That's what I'm saying, Kaiki. Can such a thing really happen? What do you mean by that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah! Who the shit are you? He's one of the many. Okay, the guy following him. Okay. Oh, the snake! The snake went back to him, remember? The Sengoku snake. From... Yeah, that escaped in Bake, bro. He must have been. No? I judged with a bloodied head. No, okay, then... Can someone clutch? Wait, did he say Ogi's name? I didn't even hear that. I didn't even see it. What the hell? What? Okay, but what happens between now and Hana then, bro? He literally told us, bro. He literally said 2 episodes ago he would be chilling with Numachi and he would be acquainted with Kombu. So we know he's not dead. Like even from this arc, you know. Shut up, Karen. This is just crazy. Okay, fine. Finish this script. I don't know what you're yapping about. Karen wants to beat me to death. Whoa, 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 whoa. Next time, Monogatari. Oh, Monogatari episode 1. No, I've already seen that, ho. No, don't worry about it. I've already seen Soraka Devil. Don't even worry about it. With Kombu. How does... Okay, so what... No, he gets saved by whoever's really shadowing him. Don't even play me. Whoever's really shadowing him saves him. Gon knows everything. Gon knows about this. Gon cares about his body and soul. I think this is true. Gon, Master Manipulator. Ogi also counter Master Manipulator doing other things. Maybe, I don't know. He's fine. Someone's gonna save him. It's fine. We know in both from this arc and from Hana that he's going to be fine. And there are reasons why he would be fine. Gon's OP, someone was shadowing him that isn't this kid. What did you say about Ogi, you little rat? That's so funny. Some random kid with a bat just destroys him. Man, finally we got resolution on that snake curse, though. That's a Sengoku oddity. Maybe he's the root of all evil, the junior high kid who's enchanted Sengoku with the charm. Right, and then it flipped on him because Sengoku thought it was real. What did you say about Ogi? It's insane. Dude, for the first moment, I thought Oshino had killed him. I don't even know why. What an insane ending. Bam! Just like that. Clogged in the back of the head. And you were talking about Ogi? It's just like Ogi said. You really were back, you con artist. Okay. Dude, Ogi's just pushing people into traffic. Dude, Ogi pushing this kid into Kaiki into this kid's traffic. Because of you what? I mean, I understand why you'd be mad, because now you got a snake coiling around you, destroying you. With a reversed curse. No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Maybe he's the root of all evil? What? What an insane episode, bro. And this isn't even, like... I'm chilling with this. The rest of this is what I'm talking about, you know? I mean, I wasn't ready for Kaiki to get clonged in the back of the head. I'm not even gonna pretend. But, he literally himself says, like, this isn't the guy that shadowed me. So we're chilling. We're chilling. It's just, Ogi getting Kaiki marked when Kaiki was leaving? Like, what does that do? Is Ogi like a counter Gaon or something? You know, like, Ogi's an issue. I don't even know. Let me go into the rest of this episode, okay? There was just so... Okay, oh my goodness, this episode was dense, and I love to see it. The Kaiki... I think what I love so much is that Kaiki's... The way to solve the Sengoku situation was through truth rather than lie. That's so good. Especially because Sengoku and Kaiki are so similar, you know? In, like, how they had their relationships. That, like, if there was someone that could speak truth to Sengoku, then it was Kaiki. Even if Kaiki wasn't willing to admit his own truth, right? So all these... Okay, so... I'm quite confident I can say that knowing that any blunder could easily spill at the end, I ascended the steps to the shrine. That's what I was saying, that you knew this would be a mistake. And for this very day, I took utmost precautions. Or at least that it would be risky, you know. And yet, she completely rolled and smoked me. She never trusted me one bit to begin with. It's true. It's true. And then all this. I can't... Did she mention... I swear, Tsukihi randomly told Araragi that she had been drawing or something. Okay? Like, when did the closet thing come up? When did that come up? How did we know? I'm literally gonna lose it. I'm literally gonna lose it. With that in mind, you could say I was deceived by her. This is very true. But no. What a fire episode. I was saying, oh, last episode's the climax. No. This episode really sent it, bro. It was a soul made of shadows. She snubs everyone. That's what Hanakawa said. Now you're listening. For an entire month, I was convinced I could create some amount of trust. With Cat's Cradle, donations, and sake, I thought I'd won Sengoku Neteko's trust. I was nothing but an enormous fool. Yeah? It's true. You got duped. And then she starts doing her snake dance, man. And he hits him, and he hits her with the dollar store Sigma stare. So I thought. Man, I just love how he tore into her, though. And the music playing. It is just so incredibly good. Their music was so... Okay, so Ogi. What are you? It's crazy Ogi's name just appears at the end, right? But this was all... It's... Ogi takes out Kaiki. Why would Ogi want Kaiki to be taken out? I mean, because I'm trying to think if Ogi wanted Sengoku to be God. Because it could be the case that Ogi had put into play the pieces to take out Kaiki, i.e. the kid with the bat, but it was just too late, right? Because like Gon's the one that knows everything. How much does Ogi know? Ogi feels like Ogi knows a lot, but I mean, whenever Ogi's talking, Ogi's also sometimes saying like, "Oh, like I meant to find Hachikuji first," or blah blah blah, right? Or maybe that was just them trolling us, right? But yeah. Ogi's just a gargantuan issue. So instead of saying she was cute, and encouraged her to become a god. It was Ogi. It was Ogi, man. Who's gonna save you? Episode and Gone. Gotta be Episode and Gone, right? Poor guy. Man, but some of these lines were so good. I really liked what Sengoku was saying here, actually. Because it's like a level of copium that like I inhale every day. I can't do anything to resist myself. That's just a good line. That's just a good line. And then she starts calling him Araragi, right? It's like she's losing it. She's so insane. But it's also because it's... I don't know. It's so easy to feel like this is... Like, some of the things he's saying kind of felt Araragi-esque. I don't know, you know, but... Oh, and then I'm gonna kill everyone. I know. You wanted to be a manga artist! Literally play that? It was funny that what was in the closet was the killing blow. It's just out of left field. It's just everything stops and she freezes and she starts tripping. Oh man. Okay, no, but give me some of those Sengoku lines. No, this isn't figuring out the... Dude, it was just so dense. It was so dense, it was going so fast, I don't remember where everything was. Where are my banger lines, man? I swear, do I really have to rewatch the entire episode? Because I will. Oh, yeah, give me this. Okay. I want to hear this. I want to hear Kaiki talking about Gon. / May... No, it was Gon. It's Gon. The soundtrack playing to him describing Gon was actually, like... Ooh, that whistling? I don't know what that is, but that sound? Listen to that. I'll run it back. Oh, you can only really hear it if you're in the pip, I bet, but still. Shut out the pip. Okay, so what are you saying here, Kaiki? Just like before, just like back when you were human. Your environment swings you around every which way. Because, man, it's cool because he's... One of his main arguments here is, like, you're still being treated to the... Like, the things that you were... Like, you didn't like when you were human, being called cute, being... Like, blah, blah, blah. It's still happening to you. You're still the product of your environment, you know? Which is so true, right? You're nothing but a doll, past and present. That's where some woman I knew was different. And he's talking about Gon. She refused an offer for a god to save her. So, is this to say that however she did die, she had a way out, but she didn't want to accept an offer from a god? Right? And God could be a analogy for, like, all sorts of stuff, but that'd be interesting. That's, like, such a... I mean, it's prideful, but it sounds like a very, like, human pride, as opposed... Like, you know, where it's like like an individual... Like, it is still pride, but it's, like... It's a pride that... I don't know. It's, like, a specific pride that I feel like I relate to, so I'm trying to find the way to word it correctly. Where it's, like, it's, like, a fierce independence type of pride, as opposed to a pride of, like, I'm better than you. It's like I don't need anyone. That's the type of pride. She rejected taking it easy and being happy. That just sounds so based. But it's also not. Like, being happy is important, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you know... But she persistently chose a way of life that didn't rely on gods. That's what she wished for. It's crazy. He's describing her wish using words, you know, but the outcome, someone's or something's fault. They'd never match? Is that what that was there? No, don't get frozen on me. Give me my scene. Bro, pop player's tripping. It's okay. They'd never match, I think is what it said. But the reality is it's someone's fault. That's funny. Okay, so Gon was the type of person... Toei was the type of person to just... What, like, never accept it was someone's fault? Because is that what you mean by putting her at ease? Is that what you mean, Kaiki? Let me run it back. She chose a way of life that didn't rely on gods. Is gods almost like a metaphor for, like, like the excuse of blame, you know, of like that kind of thing, or is it also that fierce independence thing? The outcome, the result of first contact, someone or something's fault. Because yeah, that's how he's going on to describe what he means. That's what she denied. Wow. It's like she denied like logic, you know, or like basic rationalization kind of deal. Or like, you know, like explanation. Rational thought kind of thing. If it put her at ease. It's a really interesting characterization for her, and it does give additional ideas. I mean, it makes me want to rewatch the beginning of Hana, because I'm looking for Kambadu's description of Gaon Toei. Man, there was a part of this episode that also was getting me misty eyed in the middle there, with Kaiki and Sengoku. That was really fire. In my case, it's an absolute that it's Ogi's fault. Well, but no, like, Ogi's the one that pushes you into traffic. I disagree with this statement. It's not Ogi's fault. Ogi's just one in the chain of fault, right? It's never as simple as, oh, you're the problem, right? It's never that simple. It's, oh, you're part of the problem. Oh, you're part of the problem. Oh, you're part of the problem. You know? Where, yeah, I mean, Ogi's the one that made you twist into a god, but that's because you were a good target for twisting into a god, because you are already had all your issues with Araragi, right? You know, it's not like Bake, end of Bake was Ogi's fault, unless it was. Hey, Ogi, how long have you been around for? You haven't been around since, like, Kizu or before Kizu, right, Ogi? You're not, like, the plague of the town, are you, right? Got me worried. And he starts putting it all together with Ogi. Ogi being his missing piece. Freaking Ogi. Ogi's literally the main antagonist. I'm just gonna listen to it. I'm just gonna watch the show until I, you know. It was Ogi. Ogi's a threat. Ogi's a menace. Ogi's the worst. I don't understand Ogi, man. I wish I did. One day we will. Not completely. We're getting pieces. She starts to call him Araragi, which is really interesting. And that just sounds like a little bit of cope. Saying Araragi doesn't have to do with any of it. That's just cope. Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit. And then, boom, you want to be a manga artist. The fighting begins. And he starts complimenting it, which is funny. Why this? Wait, I'm looking at this. Don't even got me messed up. Look at these characters. Okay. Bottom left. Oh, look, it's self-insert, bro. And this is Karen. This is Tsukihi, bro. She's drawing her and her friends as anime characters. That's so cute. Aw, look, because it's her in a little dress, and then this is with the egg, Tsukihi on the left. It's Sengoku being kissed by two people. It's like, oh, I love her. You know, what is that? Who are these people up top? Handsome people. Who's that person? Bro, love interest, like a doctor character or something. Oh, what is all this, bro? Okay, we got... She's drew herself doing the, like, eating the same food and biting it thing. The freaking, the dog is eating spaghetti. Are one of these an Araragi self-insert? I mean, I'm not seeing any with the hair. So, but, like, this guy at the bottom kind of looks like an Araragi insert. Oh... He's touching you, bro. Yeah, she definitely was she just projecting her own, like, things that she put into her writing, those emotions onto Araragi because she was too embarrassed to deal with her actual emotions because of her insecurities? That's so funny. Oh, I wish I could translate all this. That'd be funny. I mean, it's good drawing, you know? It's just so funny how she self-inserted all of it. That's ridiculous. Freaking Sengoku, bro. Melt your brain opportunistic romantic comedy. Wow, wow. Called out, called out. It's funny. I wonder how much of this is commentary on like from like onto a Monogatari itself. You know, kill! I must kill you. I have to kill you then myself. No one should know. No one can know. Because somebody else will stumble upon it. Yeah. This right here. This is where it gets crazy. When they, as soon as they come in with the different version, the variation Kaiki music, that's when it gets crazy. Him, man, what really got me, and he'll talk about in a second here, is him talking about the act of creation. Because I'm such a hoe for creation. Like, I'm such a hoe for creation, you know? Like, and you know, that's what I'm doing here. Like, I'm viewing a creation and in some form making a creation, though it's kind of a weird thing. Because it's, like, obviously based off of another creation, but, you know, still, like, I don't know. I'm just such a hoe for stories and stuff. So for him to make the commentary he did was really touching. You did that because you consider it your true dream in the way that you can't show people, in the way that you can't put it into words. Your real wish isn't something you tell others, bro. Man, to think that her real wish was what was in the closet. What a beautiful rap on that. What a beautiful rap on that. Man, and to make it like it's not about having fun. Like what you wish for doesn't mean that you'll be happy, right? That's really, you must be happy now that you're a god. You must be having fun, but it's not that you wanted to become a god. So it doesn't are you to say that it doesn't matter that you're having fun or being happy, or that matters less than your true wish, your real purpose? And I mean, he's spitting bars that she's actually bored. No, yeah, okay, so he undercuts it, says you're actually bored because you're playing with Cat's Cradle, and you're gonna be bored, like you're defeating your own purpose, kind of thing. Even if it makes you happy, like you're still fundamentally unsatisfied. I think that's it. That she's just a copium. It's a copium happiness. It's not a, yeah. That's it. I think that's the way he's using happy. Because she has a deeper, truer desire. You know what's crazy too? It's like he talks to Sengoku about his emotions with Gaen, right? And I almost think that that's the first time he's ever opened up about that, right? I mean, he literally said last episode how embarrassing it was. He said that to Ononoki, like, don't tell people it embarrasses me. And then here, he says it to Sengoku, and then pries at Sengoku, and then Sengoku responds in the same way he was feeling. It's just with you know, manga art as opposed to his attachment to Gaen, right? That's crazy. I wonder if it's like he's embarrassed about his relationship with Gaen, just period. Like, I mean, does it go beyond just his attachment to Gaen and how she's dead and he's still like, you know, like emotionally invested? Is it that he's embarrassed about, or is he embarrassed that, like, fundamental to having that relationship, that made him embarrassed? I think it's that he's still stuck and he's still grown stagnant in that way, but I don't know. It's an interesting idea. And man, the talk on Senjugahara is so good. This right here, this was really killing me. Creation is an embarrassing process, and dreams are embarrassing as well. That's so true. That's so true, bro. Like, I could talk about that, and I hate... This is crazy. I was about to say something, but it was going to make me embarrassed, so I wasn't going to say it, right? I mean, but that's literally, like, what he's talking about, kind of. Where, like, this is just a little tidbit. This is a fun fact, because it very directly relates to, like, my own experience, right? I very specifically don't want people in my real life to watch any of my videos. But as it has happened, some people find out because, you know, spending 2 hours, whatever, every day or every other day yapping in a room, people are going to figure that out. They're going to ask, what are you doing with your life? Blah, blah, blah. Who are you talking to? And it just happens, right? But man, it just embarrasses me like nothing else. I just hate it when people know about it, right? Because it's like, that's just, you know. And it's exactly this. Like, creation's embarrassing. You're, like, putting yourself out on a limb. It's, like, your genuine wish. It's just something vulnerable, and it's something, like, you don't want people to know about, right? And it could be that people knowing it gives them, like, a power over you. You know, it's because it's so core to who you are and what you want that they can use that against you. But, yeah, like, it's just... I've related to this so much. Say, just the line of creation is embarrassing process is like, bro, and so incredibly true. That's like the truest thing that, it's just, yeah. It doesn't have to be, right? It's something you can change and something you can get more comfortable with. And I think finding your own comfort in something that is so, like, in your dreams and being comfortable with your dreams is, like, a great way to develop. Because if you're so embarrassed that you're doing what Sengoku's doing and just hiding it in your closet, you know, and going off and becoming a god and being happy but being fundamentally unsatisfied and unfulfilled, then that's not optimal, right? You want to be comfortable with your dreams. You don't have to share it to everyone, but at least enough that you can pursue them, right? And it's funny because he tells Araragi later, like, I was just doing what adults do to kids, you know, tell them the advice, right? Wait, I want to see. What were you drawing here? I looked away. Aww. Whoa, kind of pervy. Bro, she was literally acting out her scenes from her manga that she drew in the freaking, in Bake, bro. Bake's snake arc was her acting out her manga fantasies because she was too embarrassed to actually pursue her manga fantasies and she had locked it away, and so this was like her way to cope out of it. Yeah, that's crazy. So much coping in this show. Like inner like dodging something that's super core to you and using something else. I mean, Araragi Fundamental is doing that. Kaiki with Senjugahara with Gaen. Sengoku with the way she's acted towards Araragi to her manga, her actual passion of doing manga art. Maybe you have that thing called talent. Besides, I can't become one just by thinking I can be one, right? This is true. Wow, Bro, because, yeah, dude, this is, like, no wonder that she's insecure about it. Like, these are I feel like these are such common insecurities in the acts of creation, right? Where it's, like, imposter syndrome type behavior. Where, like, just because you think, like, there's the reality of the situation. And I'm just going to compare it to my own situation because that's the easiest, just, instead of coming up with an analogy, right? Where, like, oh, but it's embarrassing. But it's supposed to be embarrassing. Okay, bet. Where, like, just thinking that I can be, like, a YouTuber, because you're watching this on YouTube, right? Just thinking I can be a YouTuber doesn't mean that I can actually be a YouTuber, right? That's not how it works, right? You actually have to, there's, like, and it's kind of an arbitrary line, but at some point, you'll be successful enough in making videos that you will be a YouTuber, right? And it's different, it's subjective, it's arbitrary, blah, 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 but just thinking, oh, I can be a YouTuber, doesn't mean, wait, I can't become one just by thinking. Yeah, just by thinking you can isn't enough to actually become, right? Becoming takes a lot more than just the thought that it can be done. Because guess what? I I can think, yeah, I can be an astronaut, but I'm not at NASA, right? And I'm not taking steps to go to NASA, right? Like, just thinking that's not doing anything. So true, and this is just self-doubt in her thinking, like, the dream isn't enough, right? But if you don't think about becoming one, you'll never become one. But that's also true. You get like, it's a balancing act where it's like there's the imposter syndrome of, like, you get hoed because there's so much more to it than just belief, but the belief is the foundation that you need to keep it fueled, right? Belief's the foundation, it's not the house, right? That'd be my take on it. A human. You have to be human. What an insane line to drop with the Kaiki theme playing in this, like, new somber way. I like money! This was crazy too. Like, this whole philosophy of irreplaceability, and he doesn't like value of scarcity. Oh, man, I feel like this is all a result of him, like an elaborate cope kind of thing, where he feels that Gaon Toei, like, she felt irreplaceable, so he's instead tried to, he's like, well, money is what can replace everything, right? So she wasn't irreplaceable, and that's why he's so full sent into money, because he's trying to convince himself that Gaon isn't irreplaceable. And I kind of agree that there's nothing irreplaceable, but it's like everything's irreplaceable, but that's what makes nothing irreplaceable. That's kind of where I'm at. Let me let him talk before I yap. This is crazy. Oh, love, happiness, dreams. I mean, this is just literally such a Hachikuji reference, right? You can buy dreams. Wow, the lottery. Yeah, because the lottery's like a dream. It's a gamble, right? But it's precious, but not irreplaceable. Man, what is irreplaceable to Araragi? It's crazy because, like, Hachikuchi's gone, but he's still alive. He's still continuing. Oshino's gone. Like, he wanted, I'm trying to say, like, his relationships maybe are irreplaceable or replaceable, but I don't know. I'll just wait on that. Yeah. Because I think the scarcity to him comes from his relationship with Gaon failing. That's why he has this opinion, has this take. Fire take. I love the take. She just keeps kicking him. Wow, some idiot out there is volunteering to do something as sluggish as dating Araragi so that you can do something sluggish as well. It's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's so good. Like, there's more to life. Your parents, yeah. How did she respond to this? Is this is like the manga stuff, right? Is it because of his attachment to the manga? Because that's where she funneled her manga feelings? Because it's cutting to, like, pens, it's cutting to ink, it's cutting to an eraser, it's cutting to, like, these different things, storyboard type stuff. So I think it is that's what made Araragi special to her, because she was coping. Not that he was just an excuse, as she's told us. An excuse to, like, dodge. But rather that it's crazy, because we were told that that Araragi to Sengoku was an excuse so that she didn't have to attempt to, like, deal with loving other people. But really, her love for Araragi was an excuse, right? It was, like, the result of an excuse. Where rather than Araragi being used as a dodge, rather than her love for Araragi being used as a dodge from having to deal with other stuff, her love for Araragi is the dodge for her dealing with other stuff, i.e. the manga art. That's crazy. That's crazy. I know nothing important. Because only you know about you, Fireline. I think that's why he respected Gon so much. I mean, he's probably feeling a lot of this from Gon. You are the only one who can grant your dream. I mean, that's why Gon didn't bend to any gods, right? Didn't rely on those things, because it was fully that fierce inner independence, which is something that Oshino's talked about. And so for him to kind of go into the Oshino philosophy, especially after last episode he mentioned him not wanting Hanakawa to go down that road, is, really interesting. Since that's bad, let's go with this. Oh yeah, where like you're jumping between your different interests, different whatever. Yeah, and that's what humans do, and that's why you can't do it if you're a god. Oh, it's just floaty. It's like floaty, which I like so much. Because being a human, like, you can fiercely lock into things, sure, but I'm of the philosophy that, and this is a little mini thing, but like I could just walk away from this all. I could just walk away from everything, right, and do something new. Because there are many things that interest me out in the world, and I could quit any job and pick up a new job. I could do anything, right? The world is my oyster kind of deal, but it's not even in terms of like the potential I have to do things in the world as much as it's like anything. Like, nothing specific I'm bound to. Like, I'm a free spirit. I can do whatever I wish. And I apply that to relationships. Any type of interpersonal relationship. I apply that to, like, hobbies or, jobs, like I said. Where it's just... And I think that's just something that the human is. I think that's something that I think of the human. And man, for him to start talking to Sensei, I feel like this was growth for Kaiki. I think he really went through a lot of growth in this episode and coming out of last episode, where this was where he introspected because he needed to do it, because Sengoku needed to do it too. And so they were each other's way to do that based on, from their connection to each other. And then, because he's calling Sensei a woman as opposed to trying to childify her, I know, always treats her current romance as if it's her first. She always looks like she's never fallen in love with someone before. And that's the right way to go. That's how it should be. Just floaty. Floaty, right? Taking opportunities as they lie, right? Never being bound. There's no peerless person. There's nothing irreplaceable. Man, and it's crazy because usually irreplaceable is like a positive thing, like, oh, baby girl, you're irreplaceable, right? Like, that's something it's a compliment. But to see nothing as irreplaceable, I feel like makes everything more valuable. Because if you say something's as irreplaceable, then anything that is replaceable, it's like, that's horrible. But if nothing is irreplaceable, then it's like, man, it's almost even better. Because it's like, imagine this, like, if you're in a relationship that is replaceable, but every day you're choosing not to replace it, that's really beautiful. And I feel like that's kind of what this is, this idea, where it's like, if I viewed you as irreplaceable, then that would be it. But if I take the reality of the situation in that I could replace you, or I could replace this, or I could replace anything, but I choose not to, then doesn't that continual choice means like so much, like maybe even more than if it was irreplaceable in the first place, I mean, I really almost want to draw a connection even back to the whole like the lie has more value than the truth thing. Like, take the same formula where it's like, truth and then the lie that stretches to the truth, or like good and then the bad that becomes good. It's like irreplaceable, but then the replaceability that every day you choose not to replace, to the point where it's functionally you don't replace it, so it is not replaced in the same way that something irreplaceable is, but the constant effort into it makes it more valuable. It's the same kind of formula, perhaps. Because humans can redo something as much as they want, repurchase anything as much as they want. And man, Araragi refuses to compromise. You know? I feel like he... I don't know. I don't know how to bounce this off of him very well. I should just keep it locked with Kaiki. Use the money I gave you. But why not? Go for it. What a great finale to this, bro. I'll let you deceive me. I think that's the line that, like, got me the worst. Because it's just, like, just even by itself, I'll let you deceive me is such a, like, a really, like, it's just a pretty idea. Because, you know, it's a juxtaposition to what deception is, right? Where deception occurs without consent. Because, like, oh, I've tricked you and you didn't know you got tricked, right? That's what deception is. So I'll allow you to deceive me is really beautiful because it's, like, undercutting that and making it into something, making something that's usually without consent into consent and then allowing it. Like, that's really pretty to me. And man, like, just stand up, Kaiki. Just stand up. You deserve it. And he says, and boop, now you're slugged, Omegalo. He doesn't even bring up the slug until he needs to talk his way out of Araragi. That said, although the plan didn't quite work out as expected, I accomplished the task given to me by Senjogahara Hitagi. And then Araragi walks in. Oh, it's so funny. It was for a Ghostbuster. That's why I was back. Because I wasn't doing con artist stuff. Surely. What was this? Of course I came to deceive. It's how I live and breathe. Well, outside of the last 5 minutes just now. I believe you, man. It's so true. I don't think there was any... I think there was no deception. I think it was the truth which was able to make the Sengoku thing happen completely. And I think this is him admitting it to us, right? I don't think he's lying to me here. At all. Oh, man, I love Araragi, bro. I love Araragi. I'm coming to really... Every time I see Araragi, it's like, dang, that's my boy Araragi right there. Now it's a slug. Yeah. I get it. This. Yeah, some of these lines. Don't throw your future away. Everyone has had embarrassing adolescences. It's just grow up, right? Romance isn't everything. There is fun in life. Because, yeah, I mean, wow, so much of growing up is letting go of the past. And that's what so much of this is about. Right? Don't think that it's irreplaceable what happened in the past, whatever you're tied to. Like, move on. Like, there's new things. It's a philosophy of moving on. Don't throw your future away. It's true. Stuff like that. Obvious things that adults tell children. Surely it's not something that you've really just fully come to understand yourself as well. I mean, I know it's like... I think you definitely grew from this, my good Kaiki. I answer, I only did the obvious. Now I'm gonna reach my hand down this young girl's throat. I do find it interesting as well that he says, know your place, and Araragi does. I almost feel like... Sorry to just go over this scene over and over, but like Araragi here where he's poised but he's waiting right here, I almost feel like would he have done this in like Bake, or is this, could we see it, is this as like a rare moment of like Araragi growth, you know, where he's you know, so he's like unsure enough that he's willing to pause. I don't know. I don't know if he would have in Bake. Maybe he would have paused, but freaking Sengoku, bro. And Kaiki really gives it to him. That's like almost a bro moment, man. Yep, take it. And he keeps the camera really far away when we watch this because he doesn't want to... He's trying to distance himself from it, but we know that was a bro moment, Kaiki. Don't even pretend. I won't use it. I'll never use something like this. Oh, that's my... This shot of Araragi goes so hard. That's my uncompromising Araragi that I know and love. He would never use it. Not on Shinobu. Not on nobody. Because he... Man, but why not? Well, because you don't want to lose them, because you don't want to oddity people, because you believe you don't, you know, you got those issues with that. I'll let it play out. Kaiki. What a dude! This episode, this arc was so good. Like end to like beginning to end. I feel like this arc and Tsubasa Tiger have been like the two best arcs. Just the Tsubasa Tiger payoff with Hanakawa's character was so fire, and then this arc just felt so well knit, well put together, you know. And the Kaiki development was great. And then he goes and calls Senjugahara. And and Araragi having to accept that there's nothing he can do. If you're around, that girl will just be useless. In the same way that Senjugahara is useless around Kaiki. In the same way that, And that's why it's good. And that's why it's good to be free, right? Where nothing's irreplaceable. Because then, if you become useless in something, you're not bound to it. You can be free from it. And for Araragi, and for Kaiki to tell this to Araragi is really powerful. Especially because he's trying to do it for Sengoku's sake. Like, this is him being completely and totally altruistic. In a way that's embarrassing for himself, because he's telling Senjugahara's boyfriend that he was better for her than Kaiki was, you know? Right here. Like, that's him being really honest with himself and honest with Araragi. Because he knows that amount of truth is what's necessary to make this happen, just like he did with Sengoku. Something like repaying that old favor. Man, and becoming happy isn't the primary objective of human life. I mean, that's a big question I've thought about a lot. Maybe something good will happen. About, like, the purpose of life. Is the purpose of life to be happy? Because if so, your boy's gonna be living a crazy life. Because I've never thought that, you know, that the purpose of life is to be happy. I've been more of a legacy, freaking great works kind of guy. But I won't get into that. Minimum amount of fudging. Remains as a children's generation. And then a child hits him in the back of the head, bro. Then this is goodbye. Senjugahara, I deceived you just to my liking? I do think that she... Well, I don't know now. She's really making me doubt whether she had a crush on him or not. It could have been just Kaiki projection, but they had some sort of relationship, you know? That was unique and special. But not irreplaceable. Yeah, and then the author thing's crazy. That was good moves. Gone, scary. They're just giving us questions to ponder because there's a lot to think about. And then they give us the biggest question of why is Kaiki dead? It's funny, because You'd think he would get hoed by the snakes. That's what they were building up to. But then he gets hoed by the other snake. You know, a guy just walking up behind him and clubbing him over the head. But yeah, I mean, Gone diff, so we'll be totally fine. Gone diff, right? She knows everything. She cares about him. I think these are true. Well, does she care about him? Because I think it's. I like his idea. I like his idea that Gon intentionally, like that Kaiki never deceived Gon. That Gon like wanted it to happen. I like that idea. Because that's very fitting with Gon, you know, condescending know-it-all. In which case, then this would be under Gon's. Like, it kind of makes me question, like, how much of Gon is good, or, you know, like, how much I appreciate Gon, kind of thing. Because, I mean, Gon's going to come in clutch. Gon's going to come in and save the day. It's Ogi's fault. It's all Ogi's fault, bro. Gon's just trying to contain Ogi. I think Gon's trying to contain Ogi. Ogi's a massive problem. Imbalance in the city. Araragi. Blame it on Araragi too, maybe. I don't know. Don't hit him while he's down, bro. And he thinks he's going to hell. Oh, Kaiki. My wonderful Kaiki. My Kaiki loved. Karen! Tsukihi! Alright, let me watch this. Just how we visit Nadeko-chan. Is she going to be out of the story? Is she done? Because what else does she have to do? I mean, her arc's kind of... I feel like every part of her has been complete other than dealing with this boy that just clubbed Kaiki in the back of the head. Because now he's going to be running around and is a problem, you know? But... is that supposed to be... you want to be the main character of the series? Who's that? Why do they look... monkey? Is that... oh, that's Koimonogatari as a monkey, maybe? Because she got the bandaged arm. I guess because the Hana Monogatari thing. I might be able to grant that wish. For real? Alright, what's the preview quiz? After the Koimonogatari chapter, who's going to be the main character of the 6th one? You're talking about... it's Koimonogatari. Yeah, it's Koimonogatari. Koimonogatari-sensei, you idiot! That's funny. Dang! Okay, well now I can finally figure out my take on if Hanagatari should be first or not. Right? I can finally... now I feel like it's settled. Because that's a big... the whole Kaiki getting clubbed thing is obviously, I think, because we know Kaiki's fine because of Hana. The thing for me is it's like... unless we think Kaiki is lying to us... we know he was going to be fine from this arc as well, just because of the line when he mentions Numachi and then mentions how he's going to use that to help him and Koimonogatari down the line, or to make acquaintance with Koimonogatari. So until that point happens, he has plot armor, right? And they say that in this arc. That was a chunk of episode, 4? So, but it's also, it was a minor thing. It was very loosely, it was said very quickly, right? So if you're to say that that's like something you're supposed to kind of forget, and then realize was said later, and like, because you could believe that Kaiki's dead after this arc, and then that's really fun, like, foreshadowing, or like fun, that's like, I mean, obviously that's a big fun thing of like, oh my goodness, Kaiki's dead, right? Maybe it was episode 5. Right here. I met the child several years ago in a different town, Numachi. Do you think now she's a resident of this town? A resident of this town. Are we in hell? Is everyone dead? Just the saying like, oh, but now she's a resident of this town makes me think that everyone that gathers here is hoed. But no, I'm crack. Right here. For instance, in the future, when I become acquainted with Koimonogatari Suruga. So until this happens, he's completely immune to being killed because this needs to happen. Unless we think he's lying to us. But this is a lie that didn't really seem to have any purpose, because we know it's true, but even if we tried to find it to be a lie, I don't see a reason why it would be. So I think that the shock value of Kaiki getting murdered, even within its own arc, you know, isn't something that you could take as true. then it becomes a question. So getting rid of that factor, then it becomes a question of, do we think the Gaon information is better received now or later? Because I mean, I really liked, and it's tough because I'm obviously probably going to be biased towards what I watched because that's how I experienced it. So I do want to accept that there is a bias there. But like Gaon, getting to know more about her and, you know, doing so much thinking about her in Hana, like, let us do a lot of really fun prediction on Kaiki, right? And really try to, like, I felt like going into this talk with Kaiki, that was, like, such a wonderful, that felt like such a climax. Because, like, compare that to, if we were to take Hana Monogatari's, because, like, okay, because we have, like, the Gaian Kaiki climax, right? Or the Gaian Kaiki arc, right? That story of their relationship. And the climax of it is this, I would say. Not anything in Hana, not anything previously. It was all building up to this. And so the future information where we figure out some of the connection with Kaiki and Gaon, that, like, getting that, like, if we hadn't known that and, like, now and then we, like, watched Hana now, then it's like we're watching that, but I don't know what that would do other than it being like, oh, like, this is just him explaining the Gaon stuff, as opposed to, oh, this is new information, this is kind of crazy, you know? So I feel like in a way you could say that this thing with the snakes is like the proper, or not the proper, but like I feel like the thing with the snakes and his relationship with Gon and being truthful about that with Sengoku was like a wonderful climax for that character arc, which is something that was part of Hana. So I like that idea and that would be a pro Hana before as opposed to after argument. If you were to watch Hana after and do the different watch order, the anime watch order, then obviously this scene with Kaiki would have hit if you weren't able to catch, if you were unaware, or if you didn't believe the Numachi bit, right? Like, if you didn't believe the Numachi thing here, for whatever reason, or just forgot about it, then this ending would have, like, hit really, really hard. What was this part here, huh? There's a flashing bit. Give me this flashing bit. I thought it could be perhaps have been Senjugahara Gon's observer. But if that was the outcome that Gon had hoped for, there would be no meaning to this. And then, yeah, okay, so that's just him understanding that the kid wasn't the Shadower. So yeah, it's kind of, because it's like, for shock value purposes, you would want Hana later, for sure. I think it really depends on, like, how much you're trying to predict. Right? If you're someone that's trying to, like, take what the story's going and just kind of be along for the ride, which, you know, total respect to that, then I think doing Hana later could make sense, because then you're getting to enjoy the thrills of this and the Kaiki stuff, and, like, worrying about Kaiki's safety, which I was doing last episode, and, like, with the snakes, you know, like, there's a lot of dramatic tension there, but I don't know if Monogatari's, like, my experience with Monogatari hasn't ever really been about the dramatic tension. I mean, Araragi's been almost died like a million times in Bake, right? Like, he gets cut apart and thrown against walls. Like, I'm so used to characters just being destroyed, right? Like, physically damaged. So, like, there's, like, I don't know if Monogatari for me has ever been about the shock value and about the hype and the dramatic tension of those kinds of moments. It's been more about, like, the themes underneath, perspective, perceptions of characters, in conversation, right? It's been about talking, a lot of talking, from me and from the characters to each other, but never really about, like, the dramatic tension of it. But if you were to try to watch Monogatari in a way that's more focused on the dramatic tension and that's something that you enjoyed more, then watching Hana could be better, because you would get to experience a lot more dramatic tension with Kaiki here, because you'd have so much less knowledge that would help you know that Kaiki's gonna be fine. In before Kaiki's not actually fine, and Kaiki did die, and Ogi shapeshifted into Kaiki and Hana. No. But yeah, that I think would be my current piece on that. Bro, wait, this is like Frozen. Is this, no wait, this came out like way long ago, so this can't be Frozen, right? This looks like an Elsa, but with a bunch of snakes on her head and a third eye. What are all these? I don't know what these are. I do not know. Mama? I thought this was Death Note for a split second. I thought that was Ryuk, bro. But yeah, I guess that would be my current piece on the Hana watch order debate. But I guess if you want to talk about it in either the comments or the Discord, like now's the time because I have all the information I really need to know about that. I mean, watching the next arc is probably good context as well because knowing where we're going or knowing where the story's going forward would also be good context. But I feel like at least the main hold of the arguments for both sides I could actually like hear now. So I'd be definitely down to hear that and form a better opinion. Because, you know, obviously I would be biased towards what I had watched, so I would want to eliminate that bias by hearing other opinions as much as possible. Wow. Yeah, really great arc. The manga thing, I need to know when that was foreshadowed. I swear it was just Tsukiji mentioned it to Araragi at some point. Just being like, oh yeah, she likes to draw. Is that it? That's it? Or like, ooh, I saw I saw her drawing one time something embarrassing and she threw it away. Was this just a throwaway line between Tsukiji and Araragi and Nisei, huh? Nisei episode what, 8? Nisei episode 7? Which was it? Episode 9? Okay. I'll calm down. Is there anything else I'm trying to say? I gotta go to bed. Monogatari, my beloved, why must you destroy my sleep schedule so? Oh man, Kaiki. Oh, we get to do a tier list next. I'm also okay. So I'm just gonna say this real quick. There's going to be a little bit of an extra gap. I made a little YouTube post about it. If you're watching this in the far future, might as well give you the information as well. That I'm taking a little break from Monogatari because just for like 2 to 3 weeks because I'm going on a trip and I don't want to start a new arc and then halfway through have to jump to and then go on a trip and then come back mid arc. That I'd rather just be able to watch them, 2 times a week. The pace we've been going, I've been very very happy with that. So tier list we're gonna do. If any of those mini stories are worth reading, I'd be happy to read those. I don't know if they would be worth making a video on, but maybe they will be. And then if so, that can kind of scratch the Monogatari itch during that break, and then we can go into the next arc, whatever the next arc is named, because I don't actually know the name of the next arc. But yeah, what a wonderful arc indeed. I love this show so much. This show is pogged, man. It's pogged, man. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this episode 6 of Koimonogatari. On to the next episode, whatever's next, I don't know. But until next episode, of course, if you like the video, subscribe if you are new, blah, blah, blah. Comment down below if you have anything to say, or join the Discord and talk to me or other Monogatari fans there. Hit the notification bell as well if you want the little bing, 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 ding, ding, ding. And yeah, don't be I guess my final message, don't be embarrassed about creation, right? Or accept that you're embarrassed, but be comfortable enough with it to keep it going, because I mean, man, I really value creation, and Kaiki was spitting bars to Sengoku, and I think this is I don't know. I think this was a really, really beautiful thing that people might gloss over in this episode. So that would be, I don't know, just my last little underlining for the episode. But yeah, that's all I got for this episode. On to the next. I'll be seeing you then.